Today we're going to make one loaf of bread. I like to make half batches of bread. That way I make it more often and it doesn't go stale as fast. That means that we are going to take a quarter cup of warm water and some yeast, half teaspoon, so get 2 of those. I don't like to use a lot of yeast because I use a pre-ferment, and the pre-ferment already has a little bit of yeast in it. Brown sugar. You can also use honey if you're feeling kind of honey-like. I don't know. And then I like to take it and I kind of swish it around. And I'm going to set this in a place where it's going to be kind of warm for about 15 minutes or so, and then it will puff up all funny like. I'm going to put this right here on my radiator because I want it to keep warm. It's a little bit chilly in the house today. Now this is my pre-ferment. This is a little bit of the dough that I made for my last batch, and I'm going to cut this up and put it in this warm water here, the rest of the water here. Get a big knife, just like your pre-ferment from before into little tiny cubes and bits so that it can get dissolved a little easier. Yummy. Yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy. So this is looking a little bit better. Here we go. That's proofed to a nice layer of foam. Kind of smells like beer. That's good. Now, I take this and we want to pour all of that liquid. I'm very fond of it. You want to kind of get this to break up. Now, I like to take flour 1/2 cup at a time. I'm going to add 1/2 cup of white flour. I use unbleached flour because I think it's better for you. I could be wrong. It might not be any better for you, but I think it is, so therefore I use it. I also have no problem touching my own hair or my own face or any of those kinds of things when I'm baking for myself. It's me. What do I care? I like a tidy environment, but you know, we get very worked up, I think, sometimes over the stupidest things. You know, if you don't want to pick your nose and then, you know, knead the bread, or maybe you do. I mean, maybe that's your thing. But you know, you want to be hygienic, but you know, a little bit of touching your own skin and face is not gonna ruin anything. In fact, it's just a natural part of life. All this stuff is really good. In fact, when I'm talking, I'm probably sitting in it now. Okay, now I like to have more wheat than white, so I'm going to put another wheat in before I put any more white in. And what I'm going to do is keep mixing this until it pulls from the bowl. I wanted to talk about one thing really quick. Now that I'm cooking a soup in the same room that I'm making this bread, and it does a couple different things. First of all, there's yeast spores that live on fruits and vegetables naturally. Now those yeast spores are airborne, and they're going to land up right in my bread, which is good. We want that. Also, the steam from the soup is going to change the humidity in the air in the kitchen. It's not like, you know, hard and fast, like, you know, have a cup of this and a cup of that. It doesn't really work that way. Although, you know, some people bake that way. It doesn't really work that way for me. It tends to be that if there's more humidity in the air, or you need more flour, or you know see how it is now? It was a little bit dry a minute ago, but now it seems to be kind of just about perfect. You want it to be kind of like this weird gloppy situation, but we're going to change all of that. All of it. Now this is going to be a pretty generous amount of flour for the initial kneading. But remember, this is fairly wet. We want very wet dough. We want a lot of flour, and glob of doughy goodness. Okay, now we're gonna just kind of fold this over, get the hang of it here, kind of become one, as some would say, with the dough. We want to feel the dough. It's going to change a lot in our hands. Now, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and rinse this bowl. Now we're going to start kneading. Pushing, folding, pushing, folding, pushing, folding. And kind of a circular. Feels really good, actually. It's very good for this whole area. Kind of works all those muscles in a gentle way. You know, it's not like, you know, you're bench pressing anything or doing a chin lift or, God forbid, any of those other torturous things that we have to do to ourselves to keep ourselves in shape. You're going to want to perform a window pane test, is what it's called. I just started doing this not very long ago, maybe. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. Right in the very beginning I started doing it because I read somewhere that you should. And you tear off a little piece like this. And then you kind of pull and stretch on it. This is looking pretty good, actually. What you want to do is you want to be able to see through it, but not get these holes. See how that just happened? That means it's not quite mixed up yet. I already knew that, of course, but I was trying to prove a point. Okay, we're going to give it another window pane test. I have a feeling it's not quite there, but it's really close. Let's see how right I am, because I could be wrong. Now I want to be able to see through it without it breaking. That's what we're looking for. What we're doing is checking to see if the gluten is actually doing its job, which is looking pretty good. I don't know if you can see that. It looks like a membrane. It's pretty close. I'm going to knead it for just another like minute or two. Not very long. We're really, really, really close to the end here.